Welcome back to the Let Me Know That You Know podcast. It has been a while.
We're
I'm Dusty.
back.
We are back. I'm Dusty, aka Mr. Coin Laundry, and my lovely co-host is.
I'm Mandy, aka yours truly, Mandalee.
And yeah, it's been a while, and we decided to go the VTuber route this
It,
time.
it's been a while.
Been a while since I've been on a podcast.
It's been a while. Okay, I'm done. I promise.
I'm very excited to be doing this again,
Yeah, I
and
I've missed it. I've missed it a lot, but a
yeah,
lot has happened since the last
a
time we were
lot.
here.
A lot has happened. I met Kevin Smith.
You
Uh,
did. I forgot.
we we saw
I
Mama
was
Moo.
there. We saw
You were there.
Mama, Mama, Moo.
That was the best. Like no shade to him because I love him. That was the best concert I've ever been
I
to.
know it was it was so good. It was so good.
Uh,
I love him. Him, my favorite band since like childhood. Love him. Will always ride or die for Villa Vallo, absolutely. But Mamamoo was just a whole nother experience.
I, when I'm older,
Mm,
and people ask me, what were the greatest moments of your life? I'll be like, obviously, meeting Mandy, marrying Mandy,
wow.
uh, seeing Solar say "Eehaw" on
Oh my
stage
god, it
wearing
was
a
so
cowboy hat.
cute. It was so cute. She was like, "Eehaw," and I'm like, ah. I will die. I will die right here.
She was like, it was so funny because it was like their first time in America, I think,
Yeah, I think
and
so.
which
Or at
is
least at their
shocking.
first tour, anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's shocking because Mamamoo has been around for a while,
Hmm.
but
And they're so
uh,
talented. I love them so much.
Solar was joking that she loved it so much. She was like, "Can I move in with someone?" And I'm like, Solar, I will sleep out in the shed if
We
that's what
said
it
yes,
takes."
absolutely. You can have this whole house. It's all yours,
Uh,
queen, whatever you want.
but yeah, that was good. Our Pats, he became Batman at least for one movie.
Had
We
that
always
come
have to
out
mention
by the
not
time we were
not since the last time we did it, I think The Lighthouse was his latest movie,
so
and
had
we
the
talked
Batman
about
come
that.
out yet?
The Batman? It's
Yeah.
been out.
Well, no, I mean, I know it's out now. I'm saying the last podcast we recorded had the
No,
Batman been out.
no, I think he was announced.
That's
I don't think
wild.
they
It was
even
great. I loved it.
yeah. It's been a
For
while,
what
but
it's worth. For what it's worth.
yeah.
I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Well, me and
Also,
my
I just love
brother,
our pets.
yeah,
We
me
know.
too.
We been
Me
knew.
and
It's fine.
me and one of my brothers, Addison, were talking about it, and I think it's like our favorite Batman movie because like it's the way he portrayed Batman
Mm,
was just the way we felt a new beginning of Batman should be.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was funny to hear him say that because I don't know how he feels about our pets, but yeah,
Our Pats is a tremendous actor. We love him.
I love our pets. I love our pet. I find a way to bring him up in every
We
podcast.
must. We have to. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Uh, do you wanna get to the list or start?
Sure. Sure.
Uh,
We can.
so this first thing
Mm-hmm.
is kind of old news now, but not really.
Listen,
Uh,
I'm still happy to talk about it. Let's be real here.
the insane uh influx of like children, actual children.
Preteen kids at Sephora. Let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
and they are wrecking the place and like just and they're kids, but they're being the worst.
I think, I've watched many videos on this because it's just fascinating to me. And I think there is I'll have to I don't remember who was talking about it.
Yeah.
Um, it might have been. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think it was on a different podcast. Be there in 5. with Kate Kennedy. They
Oh
were
yeah.
talking about, well, she was talking about how it's almost a result of, and I think other, content creators were talking about this as well, but it's almost a result of the erasure of preteen stores. Like when we were growing up,
Yeah,
there were a lot of stores that were targeted specifically at that demographic, and they've just kind
that's
of gone
true.
away. So they don't really have that space, right?
No.
To
Well, there's
be kids, really, but also kind of explore
there
things in the
seems to
future, I
be
guess.
a erasure of allowing children to be children in
Yes,
general. Like
big time.
stores are being shut down, and like when they when they try to make new movies and everything and shows, it's catering to the nostalgia of us,
Yes,
like
big,
uh
for sure.
reboots of things that we grew up. And it's like, what about these new kids? Like they need
They got
something new.
Bluey. What do
They
you
got
mean? They got
Bluey.
Bluey.
But once you get past like the kindergarten preschool thing, it's like,
Yes,
okay, it's a bunch of things millennials. Like,
right.
what are we supposed to do with
And
this?
like I do get, I mean, they did it when we were kids too. There would always be like little nods to our
Yeah,
parents'
but
generation, but yes, we still
we
had the
had
Lizzie
original things.
McGuire,
Ed,
Even
Ed and
Stevens.
Eddie. I mean, all these like cartoon they made a push when we were kids to try to celebrate new animators like the
hmm
cartoons, and then they picked like Kids Next Door came from a little short
Sure.
from that. Like I don't know. It's just it's kind of sad to me, and not to be old man yells at cloud, but like I mean, why are we just not thinking about the kids and like what they're watching? We're just trying to make adult versions of what we like and rebooting what we like.
Um, that's a good question. I think I mean, honestly, if you want my honest to goodness opinion, it's because those kind of ideas get pushed and like put
I
aside
yeah,
because they want to pick what they know works instead of taking risks on things. I mean,
yeah,
you can even
uh,
see that in movies that they're making, right?
yeah,
They might try and like make a movie for a comic book character that might have not had a movie before. Batgirl, Batwoman, whatever that was. And then
yeah.
they just tank the whole movie. That happened with another one like recently. It was like a Looney Tunes movie. It was
It
a
was supposed to be it was Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. It was supposed to
mm,
be Wile E.
mm,
Coyote
mm,
sues the company of Acme because everything he uses ends up hurting him.
right.
But yeah, I do see that, and it's also prevalent in the gaming industry because like, and it has been for a while now because I
Sure.
remember hearing that Kirby's Epic Yarn was not supposed to be a Kirby game. It's supposed to be about the Blue King dude that is the second player. And Star Fox Adventures was supposed
Oh
to
my god.
star Crystal, not Star Fox.
Oh my
And they
god.
just got scared and got
It
cold feet, I guess,
it
and
wasn't
threw
even
in.
supposed to be a Star Fox game, right? It
No,
was
not at
just
all.
supposed to be about the lady one, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be
I
called
loved her.
Dinosaur Adventures.
Hmm. Yeah, that didn't make sense as a Star Fox game to me. So yeah,
No,
that makes
well,
sense.
because it wasn't supposed to be. But yeah,
It did
we
not
went
play
off on
like
a
one.
tangent here.
Sure.
Basically, 10-year-olds are going into Sephora using the
Testers.
yeah, the testers in a disgusting way to the
Like a 10-year-old. I mean, honestly.
yeah, and then like apparently they're like being the worst form of Karens at the counter,
And
and
I
they're
don't know if this just happens to be like a few and far between entitled, but we're also connected. We're hearing the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? Like it could just
yeah,
be, but I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It just seems like there's just a bunch of little entitled children, and it makes me sad. I'm like
Yeah.
some of the like TikToks I watched, I was just like, yo, that would never fly. Me talking to my mom like that would absolutely never fly.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're kids, but like that's the moment you're supposed to sit there and be like, no, we don't talk to people that way. And so
Right.
they know when they're older, like, hey, I should not talk to people like this.
And especially by like that age, I mean, you're still
Yeah.
going to screw up, of course. You're like still a kid, but like in general, you have a decent idea of how to talk to people and like generally speaking what's acceptable and like what's not acceptable. So, I don't know. It's wild to me.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to see. And I don't know, man. You're 10, you don't need makeup. You don't. I get like playing around with it and everything, but
For
they're
sure.
buying like expensive
Yeah, absolutely
makeup.
not.
You're supposed to
Absolutely
be
not.
buying like the Color Pop Sailor Moon to be like drawing around your lips with the lipstick, not like trying to look like a model. Like that's insane.
I mean, in my humble opinion, which I have no skin in the game, right? But
Yeah.
in my humble opinion, it's just a result of what the world today. Kids are very connected online and they're seeing a lot of the same stuff that we as adults are seeing, so they
Yeah.
want to mimic what they see, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
we did it when we were kids. We just didn't have as wide a sample to try and mimic
Well,
from.
that's also back to the erasure of like spaces for them to be kids.
Mhm.
Um, they don't really have like a Neopets or like a
Mm,
RuneScape, like a kid's website. Like Neopets is still around and all that, but they
it's
don't give a f-
riddled with millennials.
it is riddled with millennials, like millennials trying to reconnect with their childhood. We're having midlife crises before we even reach 50.
You know,
Um,
on the subject of Neopets, I wish I was a Neopets girly. I tried it. I would try it and I would, make a new account and try again. I just couldn't do it. And that seemed like
yeah,
something that would be right up my alley. That I would love that. I just couldn't do it.
there's still time.
I love that little penguin guy though. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
Bruce. That's what they
Bruce.
call. His name was
Loved him.
Bruce.
Loved
And
Bruce.
just, you see how chronically like online and watching TV I was like I just absorbed pop culture. I still do.
Mhm.
To the point that you and Mercedes make fun of me all the time. Mercedes sends
You
me
don't even
stuff.
I'm sorry. You don't even absorb pop culture. You absorb pop culture and you absorb pop culture and then weird subcultures.
I just, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I want to know everything.
You just want to
Uh,
know it all.
Mercedes will send me like pictures and stuff just randomly out of the blue, and she'll be like, "What's this?" And then I'll be like, "Oh, that's," and then she'll be like, "I knew you would know that, you old man. What is
You
wrong with you?" And I'm
freak.
like, "I didn't come here to get bullied."
Yes, you did.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to see.
I think I was initially I was more like, this is nuts, like this is insane, why is this happening, da 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 da. But the more I went down that rabbit hole, the more I absolutely understand how that happens. They just don't
Yeah,
don't have the same kind of spaces we had when we were kids, and it's
like I
all
understand it.
online.
It's just
Yeah,
bizarre to see.
it oh for sure, and it's just interesting to me that this is happening like widespread. It seems anyway.
Yeah,
I can't say for sure. I
yeah.
have not done my own investigation. I've just seen what
Well, I
other
think
people have
that
said.
plays into the social media, and
For sure.
they're seeing other kids are also getting, and they're like, okay, well, that's the
We
trend
need
now.
it. Yeah. It's like 10-year-olds in Stanley Cups. It's the same idea, right?
Yeah, oh my God, the Stanley Cups.
I'm like, I
They're
don't
not that cool. They're just plain cups.
listen. I was going to say I don't get it. I absolutely get it. Everybody,
I
and
get
when
it more
I
for
was
the
in high
Starbucks
school,
cups, but I don't get it for the Stanley Cups.
no, I will give you a exact example, right? Might have been
Oh,
the end of middle school, high school, but regardless.
Yeah.
Everybody had to have Eddie Bauer. Eddie Bauer water bottles.
What's
That
Eddie
was
Bauer?
it was like a sports brand.
Oh, okay.
We all had Eddie Bauer water bottles. That was the thing.
Hmm.
They were not Stanley Cup prices, but
No, they weren't. Well, the Stanley Cup prices are because of they know it's a TikTok trend and they know they can charge that.
I don't even listen, I was not looking at the prices of Stanley Cups prior to this, so maybe that is true. But I mean, it's a big cup and it's an insulated cup. Those have never been like cheap
Yeah,
by
but
any means. The 40 ounces are the ones that all the
I
girlies want,
guess
right?
yeah.
And that's a
I
big cup, like a stupid
like
big cup.
I gotta have a big jug. I'm a thirsty man. I'm thirsty. I gotta have a big jug. A little Stanley Cup is not gonna handle it
Well,
for me.
I like I said, it's not a small. It's not a small. It's like I think 10 ounces, 20 ounces shy of that
Is
big
it
jug you have. It's not small. It's like
is it a
insane to
Bucky's
carry around.
large cup at Bucky's or
Is that 40
what?
ounces? Because that's
I don't. I think it might be actually.
yeah. So yes, it's the big,
Yeah, you remember? But those are like, just go to Bucky's, dude. Like those are like
and get a
50 cents.
styrofoam cup from Bucky's, and then just use that until it wears out.
Let's start a new TikTok trend. You go to Bucky's, you get a dollar cup,
Mhm. Mhm.
because it's like a dollar for those big things,
The
uh, which is much cheaper than the QT. I'm off on another tangent now.
That's fine.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Okay, just leave it alone. Anyway, the problem is Bucky's are not everywhere.
Well,
That's
they
like a,
should
a
be.
Texas only
They should
thing.
be.
But
That's like the thing here that I
love a
was like,
Bucky's.
you know what? Texas is all right.
And it's not even like super far from us, which I feel like we're lucky because it's
No,
not like there's a ton of Bucky's here.
it's not super far from us, but it's weirdly in like a small town.
I
It's like,
think it's more, well, I mean, that's kind of like the perfect place because it's supposed to be like a road trip
yeah,
place, you know? That's usually
yeah,
where
that's
like the
true.
Loves and what's the other
Yeah,
travel place?
I love a Loves, man.
Loves are the best. If there's no Bucky's, you go to Loves.
Yes. Loves saves our life. Like, all my family is in Georgia, so we have to, I hate flying and I like to have my own car when we're in Albany, and so we take
Albany.
the we take the road trip, and Loves saves our lives every time. We're like, where is the next Loves?
That's where we stop unless we absolutely have to stop somewhere else. It's Loves all the way.
Yes, I love Loves.
Where's that shirt? They should have
We,
that.
I'm sure they do, but you can't have a shirt that says "I heart
No,
Loves"
you can't.
because New York, the New York travel,
They'll come
I
for
don't
you.
know. Yeah, the tourism board or whatever will sue you
Mhm.
because Kevin Smith got sued for having an "I Heart New Jersey" shirt in one of his movies by New York. He got sued by New York themselves.
They said not today. No, no.
Um, yeah, I guess that's all we can say about the Sephora stuff.
Yeah. I have
Um,
sympathy, but I still don't know why these kids be wilding out. I really don't. I'm like,
well,
mm-mm.
there's no, not to uh shame the parents, but there's no structure. There's no parents telling them don't act like this.
Yeah, and that's why I would like to believe, right? We're just getting a big sampling of the worst of the worst just because it is online and you
Yeah.
only the bad ones really will get
Well,
pushed
the
to you,
worst or
right?
the loudest, yeah.
So I'm like, I would like to believe that there are some nice, normal, well-behaved preteens, and then we're just seeing the worst of it. I would like to have
Well,
some
there
faith
have
in
to be, right?
humanity, right?
Like we give out candy for Halloween. I don't
Hmm.
see a lot of psycho children trying to take
Right,
the whole bag. Like I
right.
don't, I guess it's just well, algorithms know
Of
if
course,
it's
I'm gonna
negative,
watch
you're
some
gonna
crazy kids on.
Yeah,
on TikTok or whatever. Of course, I'm gonna
yeah,
watch through the whole thing, so I'm sure that's part of it. That it just seems like it's
yeah,
way worse than it is, but like in the moment, I'm like, wow, kids
yeah.
today,
Of
Rah.
course, yeah, yeah. Get off my lawn.
Right?
Uh, you have been streaming a lot.
I've been
You're
streaming.
you're getting into the streaming world. You've been
I
playing
am
Yakuza,
Yakuza. I've been
which
playing through
has
the whole series, man.
yes, which has become your latest obsession, and I told you you would like it. I told
Listen,
you a long
listen.
time ago. And how long did it take you? And remember when I told you you would like Dragon Age, and you
Shh.
took so long, and then that was
Shh.
your obsession.
Shh. I know I played through Dragon Age so many times. I love that game. I still love that game to this day. I think once I do finish Yakuza to my satisfied level, because I still want to do some of the new game pluses on, especially
Yeah.
Kiwami, right? Because oh, I did not beat Kiwami like I beat the other Yakuzas. Kiwami and 2, I did
No,
not play the way I played 0 and 3 through 5. I haven't
that's
finished
how
6 yet,
I
and I haven't finished 7.
that's how I was with Kiwami 1, but Kiwami 2 is still my favorite. It's the goat. It's the goat Yakuza for me.
Listen, you are so wrong for that. It is 0. 0 is the best Yakuza game ever made, and that I will die on that hill. Thank you.
Um, I think you would like Sleeping Dogs. It's not quite there's not the same charm and humor as Yakuza, but it has its own charm and its own humor.
Oh, it's on the
And
list. I'm gonna play Sleeping Dogs.
it's
Um,
like
go ahead.
it's like Sleeping Dogs. Okay, Yakuza is I don't know. It's just it's like another action movie that's kind of like the other one. I don't know.
Okay.
I
All
don't know
right.
what I'm trying to say.
But no, that's on the list. I'm going to finish the main Yakuza series. That's my first step, right? Right now, I
Yeah.
did jump ahead to Infinite Wealth. I couldn't help myself. I was so excited. I'm so terrified. I am both.
Yeah,
I don't want to finish that game. I
I
don't
know.
want to finish it. I don't. I don't want to know, and I don't want
I
to
have a
finish it.
way that I would have set this up completely different, but
Mm.
I'm not a Sega employee. I don't have any skin in
Much
that
to your
game.
dismay.
And much to my dismay, I love Sega so much.
I
Yeah,
But yeah. So if you want to hang out with me most nights of the week, 8 p.m. Central, I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the
we
same
have
time.
a nice little community in the chat.
Yes, we do.
Everybody is having fun. Everybody is enjoying the stream. Mandy is great to watch, and she's
Wow.
playing the greatest game series of all time.
Wow, thank you so much. But
You
yeah,
are.
no,
You're very fun to watch.
I've been having so much fun with the games.
That's why. That's why
The
you're very fun to watch.
I think the literally I played one other game before I started Kiwami, and I
Yeah,
haven't looked
Sword and
back since.
Fairy.
I played Sword and Fairy 7, I think it is, Together Forever was the subtitle.
Uh, I
Um
think so. Yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot too. So that one I just recorded. So if you
Yeah.
want to see baby crappy videos, there's a
Without
playlist
the
on my
VTuber,
channel.
you didn't do the VTuber until
I
Yakuza, I
know. It was like no, it was like halfway through Sword and Fairy.
think.
I
Yeah.
set up the VTuber.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I was like, I don't like. I had like a static image in the beginning. I was like, I don't like this. I want something different. So
Yeah.
I made my little VTuber.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Speaking of Sega, we
Sega,
are so back. We are so
Sega,
back, baby. We got Golden Axe on the way. We got a new Jet Set Radio on the way. New Crazy Taxi.
Crazy
Sonic
Taxi.
X Shadow.
Let me tell you, I'm so out of all of these. I'm so ready for a new Crazy Taxi.
Yo, you know me. My favorite game of all time is Jet Set Radio Future, so
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm excited about.
I know. I know. You're excited about all of them. Let's be real.
I am. Yes, I will cry and, lose my mind with every release. I'm already losing my mind about the announcement of the Sonic X Shadow because that looks amazing.
Yes.
Like they basically have the classic what was that game called? Sonic Generations. They basically have Sonic Generations going on Sonic's side, and Shadow is like a sequel to the PlayStation 2 Shadow game, almost.
I know a lot about all of what you're saying right now.
Uh,
But I
Basically,
always
it's
loved
all good.
Shadow. Yeah. So
You always loved
anything with
Shadow.
Shadow, yeah, I'm good.
He had his own game on the PS2, and it was like edgy and cool, and
Me.
you could choose to be good guy or bad guy and all
Me
that
when the
stuff.
PS2 was out, edgy.
And it was the funniest thing in the world because I mean, I liked the game a lot, but some of the stuff was just like so out of place. It's like the president of the United States fondly looking at a picture of him and Sonic is like, we need him now more than ever.
I love that.
So, it was a
That's
great game.
amazing.
I love that game.
Listen, can I tell you the only Sonic game I ever beat?
Okay. Oh, 06.
I That's the only Sonic game I ever beat. I
The
beat Sonic
worst
06. I will
Sonic game.
brag on that forever. I beat the worst Sonic game. I beat the most broken Sonic game. Thank you.
Oh my God. That
I
game
spent a
is
whole like break.
worst.
It was like winter break and I spent the whole time beating that game because I just had to prove that I could do it. That's all it was.
It's so funny because that's the only Sonic game I think that deserves the bad rap it gets. Like every other, people like to shit all over a lot of Sonic games, and
Sure.
it's undeservedly. Like Sonic and the Black Knight is not a bad game. Sonic and the Seven Rings, I think it was called, not a bad game. Colors, not a bad game. Like all these other games were not the worst games in the world, like everybody tries to say they are.
Sure.
But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I can't. I'll have to figure out if I can zoom in
Y-
on my face. That's the best. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool. Love that. Would love to see a new Crazy Taxi. Would love to
yeah.
see a new kind of, what was that one like? You're gonna have to correct me because I don't know the names of any of these games. I'm just going
Okay.
off of what I remember is cool. Was it like Shinobi or something?
Yes, it's Shinobi.
That one looked really cool to me too. I don't know anything about it, but it looked cool to me.
It's basically your classic side scroller. Uh, Back in the day, it was what we call a quarter eater, and basically they
Sure.
made it hard as hell so that you could spend all your parents' money
What was that
trying to
one that
beat the
was?
game.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was done. Just saying, trying to beat the game.
Mm-hmm. What was that one? Dragon's Lair. That was like the impossible one, right?
Yes,
Where you
Dragon's
could
Lair.
barely make a move and then you would die.
Yeah,
You would literally have to put in so much money to actually
that
know
was
the patterns and
definitely
beat the game.
on purpose
Oh, for
to
sure.
make them lots of money. A lot of that's why everybody goes back and plays all the old games and they're like, why is this so hard? Why is
Mm-hmm.
it? It's hard because that's how they used to make money. They used to make arcade games that were impossible and you thought they weren't impossible. If you just spent another dollar,
Mm-hmm. Well,
you
it's
would
like
you would
the
beat it.
right. It's like the
Yeah.
fighting games, right? Where you're going up the
Yes.
tower and like initially
Yes.
you're like, "Oh, it's so easy, no problem." And then you get to like 4 or 5 and then it just smacks you. Just smacks you into
That's
the ground.
why fighting games
Mhm.
are not to be old man about it. Fighting games now are much easier, and the only reason is because arcades aren't as prominent in our culture
Sure.
now. But back then, it was all about the arcades, so they were making these bosses that were on purpose cheap, so you would
Right.
have to spend so much money.
Right.
And that's why SNK games, which are like your Fatal Fury, your uh, King of Fighters and all that. That's
Mm,
why their bosses were the worst. It's because SNK was much more interested in making arcade games.
got it. So they just
Yeah.
kept that, across the board. Um,
Yes.
what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, I was just gonna say, listen, I like the fighting games of today. That's fine by me. I suck at fighting games. Shh.
I love the fighting games of today, but I do have most of my favorites are the older ones. But yeah,
You can stay an old man. I'm gonna live in the
I'm
modern
not.
times and button mash my way to victory. Thank you.
I'm not so much an old man that I'm like,
You
well,
are.
they suck now. Street Fighter 6 is the
Hmm.
worst. Like, I love Street Fighter 6. I love Street Fighter 5. And the new Mortal Kombat games, I'll say it, are the best of all the series.
Listen, I'm
9
gonna I'm
through,
gonna I'm gonna make you say something. I'm
okay,
gonna make you say something. How do you feel
okay.
about Tekken 7?
Tekken 7 can eat shit. Okay. Uh, so here's my problem with Tekken 7. Strap in, everybody. Um, the gameplay, amazing. The graphics, amazing. The online, amazing. The replayability, as far as all of that goes, amazing. The story is garbage. That is the worst story of a fighting game I put, and I have played Balls the game. I would rather play that than Tekken 7 story. It's like 30 minutes long. It's like erasing all the story of the other games. It's terrible. It's just one commercial for Tekken 8, which I'm sure is lovely and probably a lot better. I hate Tekken 7 story. If I had known the story was that bad, I would not have bought it day one.
I
But yeah,
remember.
I tried to return it.
You
They
did.
wouldn't take
You
it back.
really did. You
I,
I don't remember if I was like at work or if I had to go to class or whatever, but I remember I came back and you were like, "I want to return this game."
it was
I
so
was like,
bad.
what was I was like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "I beat it." I'm like, "You beat it? You haven't even
Yeah.
had it a day."
I hadn't even had it like an hour before
I
I beat
know.
it.
It was genuinely sad. I get why you wouldn't like it, but I just thought it was funny cuz you were like,
It
"I love
was
modern
so
fighting
bad.
games." I just wanted to be
It's
derisive
just Tekken
and bring
7.
up the game you didn't like.
But like the thing is, like I still want to have the game. I just don't want to have spent $60 on the game. I would
Mm,
rather spend like $15 at
fair.
most.
I get that.
Because like obviously I love the DLC characters. I love the everything else but the story. I love that
Sure.
I can play as Negan and playing this
Mm.
game. I just that story was so disappointing.
I'm still
I
not over
played,
Negan killing Glenn though.
yeah.
Irrelevant,
Well,
but
I he has like a outro or intro or whatever where
mm.
he's doing that whole like
Oof.
picking the person.
Hate that.
I'm surprised they
God, was
never
that more recent than I think?
what?
When you got Tekken 7? Because if Negan was in it, when did.
Yeah, it was a lot more recent than you think. He said
Ugh.
school. You were at work. It was here in Texas.
I didn't even remember it was here. I thought it was back in Minnesota.
No.
Damn. Time, huh?
Time is a son of a bitch.
It really is. It really is.
I will forever I will forever shame that game for existing.
That's fair. That's fair. I would accept that.
That was so mm, and nobody else said it. I remember I took it back to GameStop and I was gonna return it, and there were a bunch of people like waiting to pick up their game, and and I said, one guy saw me and he was like, "Why are you returning it?" And I was like, I hate the story." He was like, "Oh, I don't care." And it's like, bro, why are you spending $60 if you're just gonna
He
play
wants to
the
play
online?
online. He
But
wants to be miserable online.
like, wait, like fighting games and sports games are cheap after a month, or cheaper at least.
I think
If
it's
that's all you're gonna do, wait.
I think the tricky thing is there's just less fighting games coming out like at a rapid pace like maybe there
Yeah,
used to be. So they do at least stay pricier for longer cuz there's just longer periods between the games.
yeah. There's a lot more involved now.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how I feel about Tekken 7.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that.
I hate that game. Um, yeah. Uh, I guess we can talk. TS, you said, has had some issues with the
Oh
Korean
my
army.
god. Oh my god, yeah. It's definitely I'm going to repeat what you said cuz I don't know if it cut out for me or for everyone. BTS has enlisted in the army they're serving. We miss them. We get Jin back in June. Love it. Can't wait. Um but apparently like I'm in the trenches, so to speak. I've been keeping an eye on things. I guess there's a app in South Korea, right? That they like family members can keep in contact with, the family that's serving, right? And they can have like a little chat, this little app they can use, right, to connect. Well, what they have done, and I don't know if this is a military sponsored app or if it's some third party, but the app has on the account set up or on the app set up accounts for each BTS member, marking them official, trying to act like they have an app that like fans can go to and like send support or whatever. But Big Hit had to come out and be like, absolutely not. We have not set up anything like that. Like this is not, not approved. Don't use this. So I don't know. It's just sad.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like, I'm sure they want to connect with their own family. Like, this is,
Exactly.
they don't,
I'm
I mean, I know they love their fans, but like, dog, like,
They are not
uh,
working right now. That's it.
no.
Like at
Yeah,
the end of the day, they are idols. This is their job, and they are not allowed to work, make money while they are serving. So no, they should not have to. Now I know they put content together. They cannot monetize that content. That
no.
is illegal. So they literally put things together before they left just just to be nice because they
Yeah,
can't make any money during that time period that they're serving. So I'm like,
yeah.
bro, don't use them like that. Like it's just kind of messed up.
It's super messed up. That's super messed up that they did that. And just out of the blue too, like I guess they thought if they waited a little bit of
I think
time,
it's
they would.
because everyone's in now, right?
Yeah,
As of December, everyone has enlisted and is serving.
yeah, that's true. I forgot that they were scattered out a little bit.
Yep. But I can't believe it. June, we get Jin back.
I hope he gets to like. I don't know if they're planning on letting him do a whole album or not because he did that single. I
Well,
don't
I
know if
think
he
the
was
whole
planning on
reason
that.
he had to do a single only was because it was
Yeah,
such a short period of time. He absolutely
yeah,
had to enlist by the end of the year.
yeah,
So he only had a few months between when they finished like their tours and shows and stuff
yeah.
and when he went in. So I hope so. Everyone else got a full album or like at least a mini album. I think a
Yeah,
full album. I don't think anybody did a mini album.
I don't think so either. I'm pretty sure everybody's album
I
had more
think
than five
I think the
songs.
reason I keep saying like a mini album is because I think JK said that he was going to do a mini album and that very quickly turned into a full album. So,
Yeah.
um
Well, he didn't have anything until like 5 minutes before. It was like,
literally I'm like the
okay,
fact that this album is so good, like go
yeah.
off. Love that.
It's like, okay, your report is due tomorrow and it counts as 70% of your grade. Okay,
JK
I'll
pulled
do it
the
tonight.
right. Right. JK pulled the you can't finish this the night before. And you go, "All right, bet." And then you finish it the night before and you get a good grade. That's the best.
He sure
That's
did.
how I got through high school, man.
Under pressure.
Literally, probably worst thing I could do for, my brain, but I had so much free time in the meantime.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's a whole lie. I was just so swamped with every other piece of homework that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it until I absolutely had to.
Yeah. Um, yeah. That's a whole mess that's
Yeah.
happening.
I I'm like, just let them be. I don't
Yeah.
understand this. Like, I love BTS. I love BTS so much, but they are people and they deserve to be treated as such. I don't understand. They
Yeah.
don't owe us shit, man.
No. It's just the unfortunate way of the world.
Yeah. It is, and they're, I get it. They make Korea a lot of money. So like
Yeah.
they want to use that to like improve what is it? Optics
Well,
towards the
probably
military, which I think is a struggle right now. Like I don't think it's viewed the way it once was, which I think that's true across the world, right? Um
yeah.
so yeah.
Probably somebody was like, "Yo, we need more people into the army." And somebody was like, "Well, BTS is joining." And
Mhm.
they're like, "Great, let's use them."
Well, I mean, it's not I mean, they don't really have a choice, right?
No.
It's mandatory, so they're going to get as, unless people figure out a way to kind of try and get out of it, which they're cracking down on now. Um
Yeah.
the men have to serve. That's it.
Yep. Which is funny. I think in some countries it's everybody. Everybody
Mhm.
has to serve.
Yeah,
But
that's
in
true.
Korea, it's like men
It's just
only.
the
I
men,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. But
What
yeah,
would we do
that's
without men?
what we do without men. They're working themselves to death. Ah! Um,
Kermit ass. Woo.
uh, man, it's been getting hotter out now, a little warmer
Well, we
out.
had to deal with our cold snap,
We
and
had to
now we're
deal
in
with our
like
cold snap.
nice weather. I wish our cold
Listen,
snap lasts longer. Unpopular Texas opinion.
I lost my street cred
I
during all
lost a
that.
son.
I lost a son,
Quilt.
really,
It
a
was
son
beautiful.
quill. The story I always like to tell when I moved to Minnesota the first year, I worked outside in carts, and I worked outside on the coldest day Minnesota has
We
seen in
had
10 years,
right
-50 degrees,
the
and
wind chill.
I powered through it. But I think it was like maybe a month ago.
Mm.
It wasn't that cold out in Texas,
And did you
and
get cold?
I got cold. I grabbed my parka, my work
Ooh,
parka.
absolutely not. I will never grab a parka unless it's 20 and below. I will not do it.
I grabbed my work parka and I put it on, and I looked and I caught myself in the mirror, and I was just like so
You should be
ashamed.
ashamed of yourself. Yeah.
It,
You
it
had
was
icicles on your face.
it did. It was like the Green Goblin in the Spider-Man movie. It was like, "You're a pussy, Osborn." The parka, take off the parka.
Oh, it hasn't even gotten that cold here.
No, it hasn't. But
I'm judging you. I'm judging you so hard. You gave me crap not that long ago because I came out with
I
wet
I
hair and
did.
shorts, and you put on a parka?
I did. Yeah.
Stop.
I don't even remember how cold it was. I think it was super windy though, so that
I
makes it
mean,
better.
that's better, but oh, I'm judging.
Plus,
I'm
I have
judging
to
you
be
so hard.
outside the whole time,
I
all
know,
day.
but mm, excuses. That's what that sounds like. Anyway, it sounds like you shouldn't have been giving me shit that day. is
Sounds
what
like
it
it.
sounds like.
But you know what a relationship is? It's a relationship. I get to give you shit. uh,
I would love to say I'm gonna remember that, but we all know I do that. We all know I do it.
yeah. Um, we what have we been up to lately? We've just been chilling,
Infinite
playing
wealth.
games. Infinite wealth
My
has
whole life is
consumed
infinite wealth.
our lives. Um, I've been drawing.
Rara.
Uh, we've been watching H3 podcasts
Always.
a lot. Speaking of,
Mm.
uh, Mark Rebier, is that his name? Is that how you say his name?
I think
Mark
so.
Rebier?
I think so because Ethan was saying it wrong the whole time. Mark
Yeah.
would say his name,
What
his last name, and then Ethan would say something not the same. Uh
Rebillet? Is that what Ethan was saying?
no, no, he did have the A correct. He put
Rebiet?
some no, no. I mean, he
Oh.
had BA correct. I think
Oh,
he kept
okay.
saying Ruby A. That was it.
Uh,
And it's like Ribby
well,
A.
Mark Rebier. Listen, every time we watch H3 and they bring on a guest and it's not like a terrible person that they're like
Those
trying
are
to be like,
debates.
yeah. Um, they bring on a guest. I always end up falling in love with these people. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, bring this person on more, please. Oliver Tree.
You
And
love Oliver Tree,
now
you do.
I'm like, Mark Ribier needs to be a permanent member of that crew. But I wanted to point out that man, I'm not shaming him. He's a very attractive man.
Mm.
He looks like if Anthony Fontano and Villavallo had a child. That's what he looks like.
I
That's
would agree.
exactly
You
that's
pointed
exactly
that out and I went, I can kind of see it. I see what you're
like
talking about.
his face is like Anthony Fontana's face on Villavallo's body.
That's yeah,
Yeah,
that checks out.
I just
And
wanted
and
to
hair.
yeah, I just
Sorry,
wanted to say
Anthony
that
Fontano.
so that none of you can ever unsee it now.
Yes, because yeah, I you said it while we were watching and I'm like, "Oh, wait, you're right."
But I know next to nothing about him, but from that podcast, what a lovely man. Love him. Would love to have him on more.
Yeah, he was fun. He's fun.
Yeah,
He tried to at least be like kind of up on the things and what they were talking about,
yeah,
which was nice. I feel like that doesn't always happen.
yeah, yeah. I've
Y-
been watching a lot of random movies and a lot of old movies lately. And some of them in particular are old 90s, 80s action movies.
Can't
And
relate.
one in particular is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, which was super weird. Super weird. I mean, I guess they all kind of are,
Okay.
but this one was called Kickboxer. And basically, his brother is a famous kickboxer and he's
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I'm the champion of the world." And then
I'm
some
king of the
report
world. I'm so sorry.
some reporter is like, "Yeah, but in Thailand, like they're much better." And he's like, "I'll go to Thailand and
And
I'll beat them."
I was gonna say, and I'll prove myself.
And so he goes to Thailand and like Jean-Claude Van Damme is just like I don't know, he's like a kid who saw a fucking butterfly. He's like following the butterflies around and shit. He's just like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm just tra la 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 la. And the brother is like training and about to fight and everything. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme stumbles into the other guy's like locker room or whatever, and the other guy's like kicking a fucking concrete slab. Like, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, this man is a psychopath. And so he goes
Does
back
he
and
want
tells
to
his
be the
brother,
best?
yeah, he's like, he tells his brother, he's like, don't do this."
Mhm.
His brother's like, "It'll be fine. He's just that's they're just trying to scare us." And then he paralyzes the brother. He beats
Jesus.
mercilessly beats the shit out of the brother. So the brother's in
He
a
trained
wheelchair
himself by
now.
hitting the rock or whatever you
Yeah,
just said.
pretty much. And so the brother's in a wheelchair now, and so he wants revenge.
Mhm.
And so he learns from the people in Thailand like how to fight and everything.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, it's a weird movie. It ends with like them trying to kidnap the brother to make him not fight back, and then the brother gets rescued and this whole thing, and then he once he sees the brother is fine, he mercilessly beats the shit out of the guy who paralyzed the brother.
Yikes.
But the reason I bring that movie up is because I was looking at Tubi to look at all the movies and stuff, and then I
Mhm.
saw that it had like all the kickboxer movies.
There were multiple?
There were multiple. There were like six or something
Why?
like that. But the weird thing is, the wild thing is,
Uh-huh.
the sequels, except for like maybe the last two or whatever,
Mm.
they didn't bring back Jean-Claude Van Damme, but they brought back the villain of the movie, the man who was he got mercilessly beat up by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the end, so he wasn't even that scary in the end of the movie. They keep bringing him back as the villain of the movies. So
Why?
I
He's
don't,
invincible. Good for him.
I, I guess, I don't know. It was weird. I just thought that was weird. I wanted to bring that up. I don't know why, but it was weird.
You brought up Thailand, and all I can think about now is Kin Porsche. I loved Kin Porsche.
Oh, Kim Force is a great
completely,
show.
completely irrelevant, but very good
Beautiful show.
show. Loved it.
Thai, uh, boy love shows,
Yes, Thai BL's
from
so good.
Thailand are just on a whole other level of
Mm,
drama and story. They're like just wild.
I
It's
love it.
wild to
I
watch
love it.
those. Yeah, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember the other ones I really liked. Love
There was,
Mechanic was good. I think it's Love
yeah.
Mechanic. That one was good.
Is that the
Um,
one with the motorcycle racing or no?
no, 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 no. That was God.
Bosh,
that
is she gonna die?
was the best. Oh gosh, what was it? I can see them. I can see them.
Y'all should watch Kim Porsche, by the
Yes,
way.
Kim
That's a
Porsche. If there's one I can recommend, that one was so good. I think it got
yeah.
like worldwide like people loved it. It was very good.
It was so good. It was
There's an
hilarious.
a regular version and an uncut version. Watch at your own discretion. Pick which one is appropriate for you. Um
Mhm. Do not watch
ah shit.
if somebody's gonna walk in on you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, don't do that. Okay, hold on. It's
Oh,
going to block you off for a second.
oh no.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Um what was I was going to search.
What that motorcycle racing one was?
Yes. Love in the air. Love, yeah,
Love in the air.
I think was
And
the
then there was
one.
one that made me mad because the guy's name was like Kim or something like that, and he was a singer and he
Well, that
switched
was
his
Kin
name.
Porsche. That was Kin Porsche.
Yeah,
It
that
was
made
the
me mad.
brother.
He
Mhm.
made his name Wick
Mhm.
because it's like Kim upside down and backwards. I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's so stupid. Fuck you.
Listen, but I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah,
Jeff Satur, I think his name is. I
I
don't
know
know.
you
I
do.
don't know
You
how to
listen to
pronounce
his
it.
songs all the time.
I know he's so good. He just released an album.
Yeah, he is quite
Oh, no,
talented.
that was
Love in
it.
the Air was the one about, it was a different one. That was a different one. One of them's name was like Rain or something like that.
Yes. But I mean that had bike racing,
It
didn't
tied
it?
into the other one, I think.
No.
Two of
That
them
was the
tied into
bike
each other.
racing one. Cutie Pie
Was
was the like arranged
oh,
marriage one.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
I was saying the right one, but Cutie Pie is
Yes.
the arranged marriage one. Love in the Air was the motorcycle or at least racing one.
Yeah.
Both good. Enjoyed both.
Both good.
There's at least two parts to both of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Not to Ken Porsche though.
It didn't need it. It tied it up
No,
in
it
a
did. It was good. I'm just,
yeah,
of the persuasion that I want, you know, more
more.
of what I like and then it ruins it, so I should learn.
Yeah. Well, like one of my favorite K-dramas, Shut Up Flower Boy Band,
Mhm. Ah,
which is
don't remind
so
me.
it's so slept on
It's
that like
so good.
you can't really find it anywhere. You have to find it on YouTube, broken up
Mhm.
into like 10-minute
Chunks.
parts.
Yeah, cuz when it was uploaded, it was back in the time where you couldn't have long videos on YouTube. So it's just little
Yeah,
10-minute chunks.
but it was so good. It was
Oh.
such a good show. But like you couldn't find it on Viki, can't find it on
Mm-mm.
anything. It was on Amazon Prime at one point, but they took it off, I guess.
Which,
And
what a shame.
when I first watched it, it was on Netflix when Netflix was like, I guess, buying up the rights to all these K dramas, which they are again now. But
Love.
uh, they at one point when I was in Minnesota, um, they just randomly started bringing in all these like K dramas and Chinese action movies
They
and
were
stuff,
just
and it
like
was
a
like,
hair ahead of their time.
yeah, and that was one of them, and I didn't get to finish it because they took it off before I finished it.
Um,
So that was fun.
I don't know if we mentioned True Beauty the last time we
True
recorded, but that
Beauty is
so good.
one of the best shows ever.
K-drama. It's on Viki. I think it's just on Viki. So good. And then our other favorite, So I Married the Anti-Fan. That was the
Which is
first, like, of recent times, right? I'll
yeah,
say it for me. That was the first K-drama I watched, and I am so
yeah,
happy it was because I just loved it so much. We've rewatched it a couple times now, I think.
yeah.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good. They added it to Amazon Prime now.
So you don't even need Viki. You can watch it on Prime.
No,
I
yeah,
highly recommend it.
it's so good. Yeah,
How did we get here? Oh, because it was in Thailand.
because we just go off on these
I
tangents and
know.
we lose what we were talking about.
I think we went in a great direction. Would you
I think
rather
we did
watch
too.
Kickboxer? Was that the name of it? Or would you rather watch some very very good dramas? I'm just saying.
Listen, I wouldn't
Quality.
recommend any of the movies that I have watched recently. And like I liked the movies I watched recently, but if somebody asked me, "Hey man, like I'm looking for a movie to watch, what can I watch?" I would not be recommending any of these movies. I
Yeah.
watched another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie,
Mm.
which was also equally bizarre,
Mm.
like super bizarre. They like putting this man in roles that make no sense. Um,
I think he
Jean-Claude Van
insists on
Damme.
it actually.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I don't remember where he's from. Um, I used to know, but I don't remember now. But anyways, he has a
He's
very.
not French, but he might be from a country that's
I
near
don't know if he's
France.
from Belgium,
He
but
it might be Belgium. That
I
does
think
sound
he's from
right.
a small country near there or something. I don't
Mm.
know.
I'm
Anyways,
googling. Hold on, girls who Google.
okay. But anyways, my point is he has a very thick accent. So why in Street Fighter the movie did they decide, let's make this man the uh the character they chose to create to represent America, the most
I love
American
that.
man ever, Guile, Lieutenant
Belgium.
Colonel William Guile. Belgium, was it Belgium for real?
Belgium.
Okay, so not quite small.
But anyway,
Um,
go back to this because I love it. I think that's great.
they in Street Fighter the movie they made him like the most American man, and then they had a movie that I'm talking about now, where he was Canadian. I'm like, bestie, why he got that accent if he's from Canada. Anyways, he went undercover in a prison
Mhm.
because like it was corrupt or whatever, but then there were like ritualistic killings and there was a
Cool.
man who called himself the Sandman. He was like, I'm invincible. Well, I mean, it's just weird they keep putting this man in these roles
I
where
love it. Can
I
I
just don't
can I touch on
understand.
this? Because
Yeah,
I think
sure.
it's great.
Yeah.
I love that he is so confident in his acting abilities. He said, "Accent coach? Absolutely not. I am believable no matter my accent."
I I guess that was just common then, because Arnold, I think, does the same thing. I mean, he
True.
has movies where he's the American hero and he's
I was
got,
about to say he's like if he can do it, I can do it.
I think he's from Austria, Arnold.
Arnold, yeah. I feel more
Uh,
confident agreeing on that one.
they just didn't care. They
I
really
love
didn't
it.
care
I love it.
what their movies were. Um,
I think it
but
adds a charm.
it's junk food, it's junk food movies. Would probably recommend them just like, hey, you want to watch something weird and stupid? Here's this movie. But uh
Okay, so the first one you watched was Kickboxer, right?
Kickbuster, which was so weird.
Okay.
So weird. I mean,
And the
they're all weird. All the movies
sure,
are weird.
sure. And the other one you watched was
Um Lionheart, I want to say.
Lionheart.
No,
Okay.
Lionheart isn't. Is it Lionheart? God, hold
I'll
on.
Google it. Hold on. Girls who Google.
He had another
There's a movie
movie.
called Lionheart.
There is a movie called Lionheart, but I couldn't remember if it was. It's not that one.
Okay. But anyway,
No.
while he's finding that one, so yeah, we'll go through our recommendations here, right?
Death Warrant
Death
is
Warrant.
what
Okay.
this one. I haven't seen Lionheart yet. It's on my list.
Okay.
I'm watching
So
all the weird Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
love that. Love that. You enjoy that because I
I
will be
sure will.
missing. I will absolutely be a ghost, gone, goodbye. You enjoy. So Kickboxer and what was the other
Kickboxer,
one? I forgot.
Death Warrant,
Death Warrant.
Death
Okay.
Warrant. He had another movie called JCVD, which was so weird. It was like he goes back to his hometown. He's
Mm.
playing himself, and then he goes back to his hometown, and he's in a mail place, and he all of a sudden it gets attacked by terrorists, and he fights them off with his kung fu, playing himself.
Listen.
And then halfway through the movie,
Mhm.
it stops. Everything stops. And he gets in a director's chair, and the director's chair gets lifted up on a platform, and the camera zooms in on him, and he starts talking to the
I
audience.
love this. I love this. See the only self playing part, I don't think that's what that's called. But anyway, when he's playing himself, the only one I care about is Jean-Claude Van Johnson. That's it. That's the
That was a
only one
good
that
show.
matters to me.
That was a good show. I love Jean-Claude Van Johnson. JCVD was the blueprint to that, I think, but
To
a
the
more serious
successful,
version.
right?
Yeah.
The successful comedy version of that.
At least in Jean-Claude Van Johnson, he realized how ridiculous he is as a
Mhm.
human being and was making fun of
That
himself.
comes with age, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Plus sobering up,
I
you
was
know.
about to say, and then a lack of drug usage, or at least reduced.
Yeah.
I don't know his life, but I assume
Well,
bare minimum reduced.
I think I also don't know his life, but just seeing how he was in Van Johnson in comparison, I think probably a lack of drug use.
I do find it fascinating, right?
Hmm.
Because to stay in that kind of shape, right, in general,
Yeah.
you have to be like hyper aware of your
Yeah.
body and stuff. So it's always fascinating to me
What
that,
he would, what people are willing to put in their body.
yes, when you
Yeah.
have to take that kind of care, I'm like, bro, what you doing? Why you doing that? I don't understand.
It's wild. I mean, I guess not that this is any excuse, but in the 80s and 90s, it
Mm,
was more acceptable behind the scenes to just do cocaine. Like, that's a business deal. You're going somewhere to do cocaine.
sure.
Yeah.
fascinating. I don't know. I just always thought that was interesting with like these action stars and the fact that they would take the time, right,
Yeah.
to care that much about their bodies and go, and then I'm gonna do coke about it.
Well,
Like
not
I don't
to
understand.
not to shame this man further because he's cleaned up, I think, and he's aware of what he did and
Yeah.
he's making fun of himself now. But it just makes me sad to think about like Street Fighter the movie that he would
Mhm.
show up late, high on
Oh yeah.
cocaine. He would show up late, high on cocaine, sometimes not be able to do his lines, sometimes have to redo them, whatever. Raul Julia at the
Mhm.
time was dealing with the worst form of stomach cancer and
Yeah.
was doing chemo on set,
Mhm.
doing chemo, and was still showing up to give like the performance of his life. He carried that movie. If Raul Julia wasn't in that movie, I wouldn't look at it as fondly as I do. Um, because he was that movie. It was Raul Julia. I loved
Yeah.
it because of him specifically, and he wanted it to be a good movie because his kids loved Street Fighter.
And that's sweet. I like that.
And he showed up early. He was there all day. He did a lot of physics. He did his own stunts,
Which is insane.
all
Like I can't
dealing with
imagine.
stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't imagine going through chemo and then going, I'm going to do my stunts too.
yeah.
Now, were they like super crazy? I don't know. I don't in
Um,
general think so. I think it was a lot of like
I mean,
mechanically stuff.
it was a lot of stuff where he'd be on a wire.
Mhm.
There were some kicks and stuff, high kicks here and there, which is if you're dealing with stomach cancer, I
Yeah.
imagine
Nuts.
super intensive.
Mhm. Well, I mean,
Like
I'm just thinking
already,
about the people
yeah,
I know that have gone through chemo. Your body is not in any shape to be like doing anything.
no. Side note about Street Fighter the movie,
Yeah.
which I still love. I love so much. It's corny, it's terrible, but it's funny and it's a
That's
great
okay.
watch. Um, Ming Na Wen,
Mhm.
who played Chun-Li, was also doing ER with George Clooney.
Yar.
She filmed that movie or was in the process of filming the movie.
Mhm.
She either finished filming the movie or was still in the middle of filming the movie.
Okay.
Went to George Clooney, and I think at this point he had already done Batman.
Mm.
Or maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Um, and said to him, I think my career is over. And he said, no, honey. One bad movie, it's not gonna sink you.
He's
And
like,
she kept
I've
going.
I've done nipple Batman.
She was gonna quit. She was gonna quit because of Street Fighter the movie, and he told her not to. And now we have her in Boba Fett. So
I love that.
I love
I
her.
haven't, this is
She's a
embarrassing.
great actress.
This is embarrassing for the girl that used to go by Boba Fett online. I haven't watched the book of Boba Fett.
No,
I
but
really need to.
we did watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, oh, of course we did. We
Yeah,
watched
and she
season
was
1 and
in that,
season
and
2,
he was in that.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were
But
both in that.
I do feel a little ashamed that I have
Eh,
not watched the book of Boba Fett yet.
I mean, to be honest, we binge watched a lot of things, and I think we were just burnt out.
Yeah, true.
At least me. We
I
went through a period where we were just binge watching so many things, and I was just like, I gotta
true.
stop.
True. I haven't. There's like a show or a movie. Well, I guess you can't binge watch a movie. Sometimes it feels like you can. They're getting some of these are way too
Sometimes.
long. Um,
Yeah,
but there'll be like occasionally a show that I'll like power through. But for the most part, I just can't do it anymore.
yeah,
I'm like
it's a
I burnt
lot.
myself out in my 20s binge watching shows.
Sorry,
You should
it's
be.
been a
You
long
should
day.
be sorry. Yeah.
I've been up since 5, 5:30.
5:30. Why'd you wake up so early?
I don't know. Sometimes my body just wakes me up earlier, and I'm like, well, I'm up now. If I go back to sleep, I'm only gonna get like half an hour.
And you'll probably be tired, more tired. I was about to say
Yeah.
tireder, but I don't think that's the word. I think it's more tired in that scenario. Anyway, um, I've just been going to bed at a cool 2 a.m., waking up at 6, living my
S-
life.
Streaming has changed you.
It has. You were the one that used to stay up late. Now it's
I was.
me.
Well, I mean, Saturdays I still kind of do sometimes. Like I'm still up at like 3 in the morning and shit. But
Occasionally.
weekdays, like I have to get up
I know.
at 5:30, 6 in the morning. I can't do that anymore.
I know.
I wish I could. I wish I could live your life because
I
then
wouldn't
I
wish
could
it on
draw.
because
Yeah, but I
no.
got work to do. I
I
got a
mean,
lot of work.
I know, but mm-mm.
I just get so tired. Curl up in bed and watch stupid movies like fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme is a Canadian cop undercover in an American prison system with his thick accent.
His thick, very reasonable accent. How dare you?
Yeah, well, I'm not shaming his accent. I'm shaming the people for casting him as something that he's not. Just say that he's Belgian. I don't know.
If he's yeah, if he won't go to a accent coach, yeah, just be like, and he's Belgian. That's it.
I mean,
Loves
like,
Canada though, or
why
loves the U.S. though.
just say that? Like, I don't know. He moved here young or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Because Jack Osborne has pretty much lived in America all his life. He still has a British accent.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of when you move here.
Yep.
And I guess,
How much you hear the accent?
yeah, I was gonna say, I guess kind of your parents too. But then again, like, there's a lot of uh, I don't know what generation to call it, third generation Indians who have very American accents, but their parents will have like thick Indian
Mhm.
accents.
I
And
mean,
so
yeah.
I don't know how much your parents factor into it.
I it's probably. I mean, you spend a lot of time at home,
Yeah,
so you hear that a
but
lot growing up.
I guess, but I don't get how they can have like an accent that's closer to where they grew up, but Jack had a British accent.
I don't know. I can't tell you
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Oh well.
because I grew up and spent a good portion of my adult life so far in Minnesota. So I was
Minnesota.
doomed. I was doomed. I was going to have a Minnesota accent whether I wanted it or not.
Yeah, I got me this Albany, Georgia accent. That's where Ray Charles was born.
Mhm. There's a
I
statue.
cannot play the piano, but
Why not?
he can.
That should be a
I don't know.
requirement. Y'all have
I
to learn how
I,
to play the piano.
I wish I knew how to play the piano. That's like the best instrument in my
It really
opinion.
is. It's so good. I
Yeah,
always wish I did do that. I had it like a little electronic keyboard growing up,
yeah.
but I never had a lesson.
There was a time where I was going to,
Mhm.
but it's so intimidating that I got scared and I
Yeah.
backed out. And it's like it's already an expensive instrument. Like guitars are expensive, but they're
They're not
not
there's
quite as
affordable
expensive.
ones, right?
Yeah.
And you can go to
And
like
so
pawn shops sometimes and find like one super cheap too.
yeah. I think we got ours like it had been returned to the guitar
Mhm.
shop, so it was like $50 or something.
Sure.
But I was able to convince my parents to get me one of those.
Mhm.
But I was like, there's no way I can convince them to give me like a keyboard. Those things are so
I
expensive.
think you can also find like cheaper keyboards. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
You know what you could get? That
Mm.
cat keyboard at Target.
You can get that. You are so
Mhm.
right.
Mhm. And
And
very
like
very inexpensive. Good entry
my
instrument.
my Uncle Jimmy, when I was a kid, I remember
Mhm.
I don't know what happened to it or if they even knew how to play it, but when I was a wee lad,
When I
th-
was
they used to live in this condo, this very lavish condo. It was beautiful,
sure.
and they had a piano,
Mm,
and so I probably could have learned from him.
sure.
Um, I used to get yelled at by my mom because we would go over there and I
Hmm.
would just immediately make a beeline for that
Like a moth
piano and
to a flame.
I'd start playing around on it. And she was like, "That's not yours. Don't touch it."
She's like, I do not want to hear you banging on these damn keys.
She was, she was probably thinking like, "That thing is expensive and we are poor. Do not
She's like, if
break
you
their
break it,
piano."
you buy it, and just you, not me.
And then I got yelled at even more because I was obsessed with Bruce Timm's art
Oh
style.
no, yeah.
And I didn't know printer ink is expensive. How the fuck was I supposed to know that? I was like 9. Um, I tried to print out my own art book. I tried to print out all of the images of Bruce Timm's Batman characters. Yeah, I wasted a lot of their ink.
You said, oh, you thought you were going to stop me from making an expensive mistake on the piano? Think again. Think
I
again.
sure,
I will spend so much money on printer ink.
I was in so much trouble. I don't think we ended up having to pay for it because not that my parents didn't try to offer, but my
Right.
uncle Jimmy's a nice guy. He wasn't gonna let
Right.
them spend that money. He was like, he's a
That's so
kid.
funny.
I remember that. I remember them yelling at me and being like, "You are gonna apologize, and we have to pay for this," and him being like, "He's a kid. He's gonna
Mhm.
do stupid stuff. It's fine. I don't care."
I love that. That
I
cracks
love
me
my
up.
uncle Jimmy.
Mm.
He's a wonderful man.
Yes, he is.
Hopefully, we'll get to. We might not get to go to the beach with them, but hopefully, we'll get to at least spend more time with them this time
Yeah.
than last time.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think we should wrap it up here.
yeah.
I think we had a very successful first cod.
First podcast back.
I've never spoken before. I think we had a very successful first podcast back.
This has been a successful unveiling.
That's right. That's right. I had a lot of fun
Yeah,
shooting the shit.
yeah.
I loved it.
It
But
was
yeah, I
fun.
think we've talked about bringing it back for like quite a while. So now
We
that
have. It's
logistically,
always been in the back of my head,
mm-hmm. Because I had fun. I had
constantly.
fun when we were recording
I did too.
before.
I think a lot of the um, apprehension came from the editing, but now you're a
Oh my
pro.
god.
You've been
I
doing it
know.
for your streams and your recordings, and
I know.
I,
I'm so excited. And this, listen, now that I have it like set up, it's
mhm,
so much easier. Like I
yeah,
used to have to like lay the audio over like the image and stuff. And now I don't have to do that. It's all recording together. Everything's set up. We have actual models to work with. I love this.
mhm.
Look at
Me
us
too.
moving into the future. We and I haven't talked to Dustin about this, so this is this is our conversation right now. Um we might work on a new background. This was just kind of the placeholder. It was what we had.
Uh,
But
yeah,
so you might see that for a few episodes still. But eventually maybe we'll figure out some sort of background that makes it look like an actual background.
yeah.
Like something that makes us look like we're just chilling and talking. I don't know. So we'll figure
Chillin'
that out.
in Cedar Rapids.
I'm, we're just chilling in Cedar Rapids. Anyway,
I, I hope you
I,
guys enjoyed this.
yes, I appreciate everybody who's made it this
Yeah.
far. Um, yeah. So thank you for listening. I'm happy to be back. I know Dustin's happy to be back. And we'll see you again. Have we discussed? I don't think we've discussed. Are we going to try to do this every week like we did
We
before?
can try.
Okay.
We can try. Um, I guess this is a good time to record.
Mhm.
It's not on your stream schedule, so
Right. And listen, I've been streaming on days I haven't had scheduled. So
Yeah,
I
I
can
know.
carve out one night for this. Absolutely.
We just gotta make sure we keep thinking about what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I think will be the only thing. But yeah, I
But
think
yeah.
we can
All right.
make a go of it.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. We'll be using this channel again. And I know I have
Hell
it
yeah.
connected on my channel, so you can
Yeah.
just I'll make sure to shout us out on my channel during my stream and stuff. So, all right. I will see
All
you
right.
guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Love you.
I love you.